So what is it with your character?
Oh, I heard I was Batman. I was surprised. What do you mean? What is
Well,
it?
I mean, there's some, there's a, I want to talk about you later, but there's some complexity there about not being able to make a commitment, right?
Oh, that one, yeah, that's funny. Well, I think that's kind of a tradition with Batman because they never really want to saddle him with anyone for too long a period of time. And also, I think mostly they tend to shy away from getting Batman in any relationship. And there was a lot of focus on Chris falling in love with Poison Ivy through all of this too, so that was where the focus was.
Well, I imagine, remember when the first Batmans came out, with Michael Keaton?
Sure.
I don't know where you were then, but I don't think you were doing ER at the time.
I would tell you, I was doing the first season of Roseanne when it came out.
And if anybody ever told you then, you're going to be a Batman.
Yeah, funny, huh?
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. Joel came over and Joel Schumacher, the director, came over and said, "You want to play Batman?" And I thought, wow, yeah, I'd love to play Batman. What an exciting thing to be a part of that kind of a franchise. And something, by the way, I grew up. I have pictures of myself when I was 3 years old in the Batsuit. So,
really?
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
I mean, it's all happened so fast for you, hasn't it?
Yeah, 15 years, sure, quickly. Yeah, once it started happening, it happened very quickly. I worked for 15 pilots or 14 pilots and 8 other television series. I've had a long kind of run with things not really working one way or another. Sometimes my fault, sometimes the show's fault and things. And then along came this sort of miracle in ER, which is itself, it stands out as arguably one of the biggest hits of all time. So it's a great place to be, and that change, and I got to ride along that ride.
Did you ever think about just like during that time saying, well, wait a minute, maybe this acting thing's not going to really work out, and I better think about doing something else?
No, because once you started getting work as an actor, you got to remember that 5% of the people in the union I'm in make more than $7,500 a year, and that's the actors that are in the union. So if you're making a living at all, you're beating the odds. And I've made a living for 14 years. I've been on a series straight for 14 years, one or the other. So even if they're not great shows, and you're not proud of them, or you're not good in them, even if they're not great, you're still very lucky to be working. So you think you're doing okay.
But were you satisfied? I mean, aside from the financial.
And I'm still not satisfied, obviously. I don't think anyone, the minute you get satisfied, I think that you really shouldn't be in the game. But I'm not satisfied with the work I do in projects. I'm not satisfied with the projects I do, ever. And the trick is for me to understand my limitations and try and avoid what I'm not good at, and then try and get better at those things as I get older.
But what do you think you need to improve on?
Well, if I go watch My Left Foot, I'll see that movie and go, I can't do that. Understand that I can't do it, and then not try and do those roles, try to do that role until I think I can, or until I can do it and people would believe it. And I may be dead by the time I can do it,
Well, that's kind of humility. I mean, you must have had that growing up in that Showbiz Family of yours, right?
Or at least an understanding, not humility, but an understanding of what you do. I don't think it's humility. I think of, I like me. I like what I do. I think I do my job well a lot of times. I think I mess up a lot, but I think I do my job pretty well. But I also look at it and go, this is what I do well. I will lean towards that and be smart about what I do. And I've done that for a while pretty well, focused on what I do well.
Is that something you had to learn, or was it something that was always within you?
Had to learn some of, because there's a period in your life when you think you can do everything, and you want to do it all. You think you're Batman, and there becomes this moment when you realize you're not, or when you realize that Batman can't fly, you think you're Superman. So you had to learn. I had a great luxury of having a lot of family members being very successful and then not very successful.
Like your aunt, for instance, yeah.
It's a perfect example. And she got very famous and then very unfamous, not because she got less talented as a singer along the way. Things change, having nothing to do with her. I got to see that. So I got to have an understanding that when things are going well and people tell you how good you are, that's not the case, so that you understand when things aren't going well and people tell you how lousy you are, you don't have to believe that one either. It's a trick.
Did you go through a period when you were angry?
No.
Never. I mean, younger. I mean, were you just?
No. Well, you know, I mean, there's always the angst and there's all that stuff, but not angry about my career. So I don't sit here now going, oh, vindication. I don't have to do that. I'm very comfortable with where I am, and I don't have to burn anybody or napalm any bridges. You know.
Well, you're the most comfortable guys I've ever met.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Yeah.
What's not to be comfortable with, you know.
Okay, thanks.
Hey.